the longevity of video and the ability to cut it up and utilize it in different ways, whether it's selling to a lead or warming a lead, or even just explaining a process to a current client and or a lead or a person that's coming through to work with you is huge.
We're gonna give you a bunch of little clips to put on social media, and some people might not see them there. They're gonna go on your website. So what I wanted to talk about was sending these to people, almost like prescribing them to people.
I think it's a great tool, another great component to our entire sphere of marketing and promotion of our company.
When clients understand what you do, they tend to appreciate it more, and that I believe increases retention. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Landscaper's Guide. Today I'm in Amherst, Massachusetts with my client Tory Chlanda from Better View Landscapes.
Yes.
We just finished doing a ton of video content. We interviewed your employees.
Yeah.
We did some process videos. We did a homepage video so people understand why you're different, and we interviewed the homeowner of this incredible property.
Yes, Midge and Glenn,
Am I saying it correctly? Is it Amherst, Massachusetts?
There you go, he's got it.
Amherst.
Yeah,
It's not Amherst, it's
no,
Amherst.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm excited to be with you. We've worked together for years, and now we're doing some videos.
Yep.
And today I want to take people on tour of this property. Just tell us a little bit about you. If people haven't seen your other interview, you did 80-20 snow removal.
Yep.
Really interesting pricing strategy for residential
snow removal service.
And so one of the few clients I have who like doing residential, but you
love
figured out the
snow.
pricing.
Yes, we did.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name's Tory Chlanda, and I own Better View Landscapes. We've been in business for 29 years. This is our 29th year. We are a full-service landscape company, so we do everything from mowing to design build and maintenance of property. So pretty much we're a soup to nuts. You don't need to call anybody else kind of a solution for residential clients here in the valley here, including Amherst and surrounding towns.
And why did you choose this client? Tell me a little bit, how long have you worked with them, and why did we pick this location for your client testimonial?
Well, I think, Glenn and Midge's house, we've been with them, we were trying to figure that out today, actually. I think it's over 15 years. So, and we've done a lot to this property, and we take care of the entire property. So it's a really good representation of the things we do. And it showcases literally all of our different unique strengths within the business. So yeah, we've done a lot of different things here. We've done a patio, we've expanded their yard, we've had tree work done here, we've planted out the front yard, we've even done a sculpture, which we will see in a little while, it's really unique and kind of fun. So I'm excited about sharing that and the story behind it. But yeah, ultimately, it's a good representation of a lot of the services that we offer to our clients, including snow. We take care of this property in the winter as well.
Well, let's take a tour of the property and start with this egg.
Start with the egg.
Let's start with the egg.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it.
So Tory, tell me about this. Is this a marble egg?
It is a marble egg. So probably a year or two after we've been working here, Glenn called me and was like, Tory, we bought an egg in Vietnam. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, it's marble, it's really cool. We're having it shipped to the Boston port. We would love to put it in the front yard. I'm not sure where. Let's figure out where to put it. So once we figured out where we're going to put it, we were tasked with go out to the port of Boston and pick it up off of a ship and bring it here. We did just that. This thing is completely marble. It is carved, so it is, as you see, it's open, and it has no drain, so it collects water. So we placed it here, kind of find a nice little alcove. It's a really nice way to kind of see it when you come in, but it's not just the main feature. The colors are really cool. They tie in with this river birch behind us, so that was kind of cool. Yeah, it was our first sculpture. It was really fun. We learned a few things, and we had to make sure that it was supported. It is, like I mentioned, it's very heavy. So underneath this large marble block underneath it, there's a large concrete base that supports it. So this is as true as it was the day we put it in. But really a fun project. It was a neat thing to do.
So it got shipped to the Boston port, which is like roughly 2 hours from here.
Yeah.
So then, like, what did you send to pick it up? Like, how do you?
We weren't sure. We actually brought one of our larger trailers. We didn't know how big or what we needed for it, so we brought our larger trailer out there.
And was it on a pallet or?
It was on 2 pallets. So the pedestal and the egg itself. So on 2 pallets, all wrapped really had no idea, and we also couldn't really tell if, you know, maybe it had broken. I mean, again, it's self-supporting, so yeah, we weren't sure, but we had a large trailer, and it ended up being sort of oversized trailer, but we were more safe than sorry on this one for sure.
So what do you think people would search on Google when they're trying to find somebody to do this?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I would, sculpture installation, but I think you'd probably find artists and
Yeah.
not the actual thing. So,
I don't even know.
yeah, I mean,
It's
I think
such
anyone,
an unusual thing that
it is.
I don't know if you would look for somebody to do it or just ask your
around.
landscape people.
And I think,
guess.
yeah, and
So-
because we do construction, hardscape construction, we're familiar with how to install bases. So, and for anything, so we understand the logistics and what it would require to support something like this. So I think any good landscape company that's doing hardscapes can do this type of work. So pool area, we've done a lot of work in this space. One of these being actually this grill and a refrigerator unit. Their kitchen's on the opposite side of the house, so it made a lot of sense for them to be able to spend time in this upper patio and watch grandkids and play in the pool and be able to grill and still kind of be in the same space. One of the last things we did, which was this patio, but we integrated into these stairs that are here, and this wall was here previously. But this wall that we have right here, we did redo for structural reasons. Midge really loves hydrangeas, so we did pop these back in and kind of created this nice wall after we kind of cleaned all this up. This large, very large piece of Goshen stone seat was one of actually the first projects we did after working on the front. This was not really situated this way and really wanted to have a nice seat so that they could enjoy the pool. So we went and recentered this and planted out a lot of these sedums underneath here to let them grow into the space. So a really enjoyable space. This pool was original to when they first built the house, but we've pretty much expanded the patios around it to make the space really super enjoyable and accommodating to their family and grandkids as well. So behind the pool, this used just to end. There were some big junipers and it just it felt really claustrophobic, and we really wanted to see out into the space. One of the things we utilized, because we didn't want to do tons of maintenance in here, was beach rose or Rosa rugosa. And so in the spring, this is just filled with blossoms, and it's so an aggressive grower that it keeps everything else at bay. And also kind of keeps the heights down so we don't feel like the woods is encroaching. There's another element that we can't see because it's daylight, but there are tons of lights in this space, and there's some big uplights on these trees back behind us on the oaks that really kind of set a nice scene here for the evening time. And that's pretty much true throughout the property. Yeah, so actually there's 7 apples here. So Midge, when we first started reclaiming the yard, really always wanted to have some apple trees. Like, hey, can I have some apple trees? And I said, let's make that happen. There's plenty of sun. Clearly you could see it's beaming down today. And we actually bought in fairly mature apple trees. They were fruiting when we got them, and so much so when they were on our truck being delivered, apples were falling off the back. They have their years, but they're always fruiting. One of them is at least always fruiting. We've had years where the branches are just to the ground with apples. It's a unique thing to have. They love it. We take care of them as far as they're relatively organic. We just put a little fungicide on them to keep them from really getting sort of gnarly and to keep them edible. So one of the other elements that we like, that we've kind of created around in this space is different sitting areas or areas to enjoy the space. This right here is a Ashfield stone bench with Ashfield stone supports. Solid one piece here on the top, and we put it here at the top of these stairs to the pergola, again, so that you can sit here, look back at the house and the landscape behind us here, and really enjoy it. Springtime, the apple orchard here is in full bloom, a really nice relaxing spot. There's always some color here, depending on the time of year. So again, we like to kind of create these little contemplative spaces, the relaxing spaces that really help you enjoy your space more. One of the other things that Midge and Glenn really wanted is some more space in their outdoor environment. So we took and created this pergola and these retaining walls and built them into the hillside. Although the hillside, when we first started, wasn't actually here. It was a bit of a slope, but we've leveled this out and created a really nice space, including mosquito netting that goes around, it pulls around the pergola and keeps mosquitoes at bay. We of course have a nice built-in bench, but they've added really nice furniture to the space, along with one of my favorite things and one of the best ways I like to do fire pits is to have a inline fire pit. So we have a hearthstone in the back and a big wide fire pit hearth, which we can really have some very large fires if they wanted to. But also what I love about this for any home really is that you can bring chairs close to it when you're just an intimate small fire. But if you're having a bunch of guests over, you can bring those seats back. So this is really accommodating in that way. Some other little details that we have underneath here. There's some drainage so that way that all the ash and stuff like that doesn't fill up, and it actually keeps it well drained so that this doesn't turn into a big water pool. So, and then of course we have the backdrop of the valley here. Needs another round of some pruning and some clearing. However, as I mentioned earlier, there's some backlights, uplights that shoot up in here. So at nighttime, this is a wash of light and really just a phenomenal place to spend time in the evening especially, but anytime really.
You guys did an amazing job with this property. So it was so cool
you.
for the tour. Thanks for
Yeah, no, I'm really
for
glad
working
to
with me
share
on
this
this.
with you. Yeah, no, I'm really glad to share this with you. And to add to it, I think the testimonials from my staff was amazing. Listening to them while you were asking them about things, really insightful. I know it was helpful for me to understand why they liked being here and how they found us. But I think how we're going to use it's going to be really great because it's going to help us translate to finding other great employees.
So what were some of the things that you heard them say that maybe surprised you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess surprised not, but it's just really good to hear was, when I was looking for a job, especially like Bobby, who was coming here from like North Carolina, he's like, well, I was online and I was looking at your, what you did for work and the kind of work you were doing, really kind of was looking what he was used to doing. And so he felt comfortable with the idea of applying with us. So, and those are the kind of employees we want. And we want people that kind of are thoughtful and like listen to what we're about and want to come and join and be a part of what we're about. And that was awesome. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, and so, and then piling on top of that is the idea is that we're going to take and have this really great employee video that will be able to help recruit more great Bobbies. We love Bobby. He's only been here a few months, but just a great guy. Really like him a lot.
Yeah, it's funny. When we were planning your Hell Yes employee, you were like, well, maybe they're in the area and they're working at a landscape company and they're not being treated well, or maybe they're moving here. And then Bobby was like exactly that. He had 5 or 6 years of landscape experience and did a ton of research. Looked at your website, read your careers page, and now you're going to have these videos to share with people. So we've worked together for maybe 4 or 5 years, I think. So we've done a lot of things, and I'm thinking about our foundation of digital marketing. So we've done a lot together. We've worked on your sales process, your branding and differentiation, the reasons to buy. We've worked on your website and local SEO, online reviews. And now we're kind of moving up the foundation of digital marketing. We're doing video.
Absolutely.
So that made sense to me that was what you needed. And I was just curious to hear from you as a landscape company owner, like, why are we doing video today? And what could we maybe share with the audience to get them thinking about video?
Well, I think the evolution of SEO and all that stuff, you've done some great work for us with the SEO side. Obviously, this is part of SEO, but the longevity of video and the ability to cut it up and utilize it in different ways, whether it's selling to a lead or warming a lead, or even just explaining a process to a current client and or a lead or a person that's coming through to work with you is huge. And then on the employee side, the same thing is true. I think it's more interactive. I think people connect to it better. There's some personality. I mean, all of my employees, the people that we met today and spoke with, even Midge and Glenn, hearing from other people, I could tell people to the moon what we do and what we're about. But I think really the proof is in the people that experience Betterview, be it an employee or a customer. I think that to me is a much better tool because it shows that we can talk the talk, but we're also walking the walk. So the employees are and customers are actually saying, yeah, no, this is what we're about, and that's what they're doing, and we love it.
I agree, and the cool thing about video is it never gets sick.
Nope.
Video can't get COVID. It can't call in sick and not work for you. So when you're low or you have COVID or whatever is going on in your life, you that video, once it's done, just works for you. So you can send it to each employee, each customer. And that was one thing I wanted to touch on is proactively sending it. So we're gonna edit these videos. We're gonna optimize them on YouTube. We're gonna give you a bunch of little clips to put on social media. And some people might not see them there. They're gonna go on your website. So what I wanted to talk about was sending these to people, almost like prescribing them to people. Like, hey, before we meet for your initial meeting for your design, please watch this video. And it's going to help save us both like half an hour by answering questions that people ask all the time. One of the ways I do that, and you've been a client for a long time, is we use Loom. So loom.com. There is a free version. I have the paid version, but you can upload these videos and then record personal screencast videos for your clients. So we were talking about like maybe there's a certain price point for design build customers, or when you know there are multiple people you can't meet with, the video is really powerful. And you can insert these testimonials into the Loom library and literally within seconds edit it into the end of a video. So it's like, hey, here's your design, and by the way, you remind me of Midge and Glenn, and here's a short conversation we just had with them, and now, wow, like, I'm excited for you to have that.
I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a tremendous tool for people to gain confidence in our company and what we offer, both on the employment side and that, and educating. And I think that's one of the biggest things of my business, the business, is that we love education, we love learning. And so that's not just like internally, but it's also teaching our clients, our future employees about us, and teaching that way. I think it's a great tool, another great component to our entire sphere of marketing and promotion of our company.
Well, and when clients understand what you do, they tend to appreciate it more, and that I believe increases retention. So when people are like, oh, you told me what's going to happen next and then you did it, that creates trust. And when you keep doing that and you're teaching them along the way, they're like, yeah, these are my landscape people. So it was cool to hear Glenn talk about how you're the one company that manages the whole property.
And it's such an honor to do that, and that's what we love doing, because we feel that takes a lot of stress off of our clients, and they don't have to be managing their properties when there's so many other things to be enjoying, like the property itself, and it should just be able to be taken care of with a call. And I think we're able to now really easily express that utilizing the video that we've shot today. I'm really excited about it.
So what are you excited about with Betterview moving forward? So we were trying to count the number of years in business. It was in the early 90s that you started the company.
1995,
1990, so
29th year in business.
Yeah, 29 years, coming up on 30 years.
30.
Where are you headed in the future, and what are you excited about?
So I'm really excited because when we made the decision to grow this company, or actually it's the royal we, I decided I wanted to create opportunities for my staff. I have some great people, and I wanted to create opportunities where people could come work here and make a career. And so that to me, that's what I'm continuing to build, is a place where people can move up. They can continue to learn and feel like they're advancing in their career, and both not, educationally speaking, but also financially too, that they have the reason to be here, and that it supports their life outside of work, which again, we've talked about it before, is one of our other key points of the business, is that life-work balance, and we try to maintain that. We understand that. So I'm really excited. So we're growing, and that's where we're continuing to do, and this is another part of it, and really looking at just expanding the business and taking better care of our clients and just get better at what we do.
I found that that's one of the things that I enjoy about running Ramblin Jackson, is creating career opportunities. We're getting to work with Rebecca is here
behind the camera
today. Working with great people and seeing them grow and do things with their life is really rewarding. I saw the receipt in your office from when you bought your lawnmower.
When we first started.
And you had a business partner, and
I did.
You guys were nervous and you bought a lawnmower. So what were you thinking at that time? Was it just like, I'm gonna mow lawns to make a little. You were working at McDonald's.
We were
So
working
tell me
at
like the quick history of like, so you were working at McDonald's and you're like, I think I could make more money doing lawn mowing. or something.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. So I mean, we were it was like my high school job. I had other little fun jobs on the side. And I think I even did some lawn mowing and some spring fall cleanups when I was a kid. You know, I had a rake and things like that. But and yeah, it was like, hey, you know, we're making $4.25 or whatever minimum wage was at that time. And I'm like, you know, it seems like we're working a lot of hours and not making a whole lot of money. And so I put together a list of stuff that we had available to us, a truck, and you've got some mowers, got a weed whacker. So that was what I was thinking. I'm like, hey, we can make a little bit more money. And as we started to do it, that entrepreneurial spirit kicked in. Oh, we could do this, and listening to what our clients needed too. Like, I don't need lawn. Hey, I also need. My beds are in really bad shape. I need some weeding. So cool. And I grew up in a gardening household, so I understood that. So I'm like, oh yeah, and we started to add those things on. So. Yeah, I mean, expanded the business. You're right. The first mower we bought 2 years after we started. Remember buying it. We took out a loan from the local bank.
That's incredible that you got a loan to do that.
Yeah, without collateral. It was that was pretty amazing. I think we put a little down, but it was pretty cool.
Roughly how much was that lawnmower?
It was like 1,900 and some odd thing. It's hanging in my office. I have 2 copies. One's in the office and one's just outside in the other part of the office. Just again, as I walk by that every day and I look at it on my wall, and it kind of reminds me of where we've come from and like how far I've really come. And to ask like, what was I think? What am I thinking at that time? I think it was just 2 kids that wanted to improve themselves and wanted to really make something. It became my college job. Got out of college with a business degree and was like, gee, I had a mentor at the time. And he's like, what should I do? I should go maybe do things. Like, you have a landscape company. You're really pretty good at it, which was at the time exactly what I needed to hear. And as they say, the rest is history. I've taken a lot of time investing in myself as far as learning about certain aspects of the business, hiring really great people, hiring really great companies like yourself that help build this company, because I realized pretty early on you can't do it all yourself, and that opens up opportunity and the ability to grow. And then once I started having people that I really wanted to support, it just sort of evolved. So yeah, early on, 2 kids wanted to make a little bit more money and kind of have maybe some more some more play money, to gas money to go to the movies and things like that, and go out to lunch and dinner with girlfriends and things. But it became a career.
And now, how many people work with you in the peak season?
Above somewhere around 20, 22, it depends. So yeah.
That's incredible.
Similar numbers in the wintertime because we hire a lot of part-time or on-call staff for snow. But yeah, pretty consistent that way. And it's a huge responsibility, and it's one that I don't take lightly. It means a lot to me to keep them working and to generate work, and which is one of my key parts of my part in the business, is the sales on the design build side. Yeah, it's a huge responsibility, one that I don't take lightly. I'm always looking ways to make their life a little bit better, be it benefits or whatever that they need.
Yeah, well, it was great to interview your people and literally drive around with you in the truck.
Yep.
We saw Emily Dickinson's house.
We did, yep.
We saw, we went through Amherst, which was beautiful.
Pronounce it correctly. Look at that. Jack, you can move here now because now you can pronounce Amherst correctly. So.
Of course I can. Of course, I had a really good teacher. But it was cool, thank you, because building your website, working with the Ramblers on your marketing.
Yep.
We look at your place on Google Maps, and we build all these pages for these different places, and they are real to us, but coming here and like literally driving through it and going to one of your clients' houses was a cool experience. So.
I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad I got to share it with you.
Well, you've built an incredible company. Thanks for working with us.
Yeah, no, I love working with Ramblin Jackson. You guys are just great. I've always said it, you guys talk the talk, but walk the walk as well. And I think that is a rare thing, especially in your space. We find there's a lot of companies out there that don't always behave that way and offer the moon and deliver stone dust, So.
Well, so in some ways it's not that different from landscaping, right?
Actually, probably,
Honestly,
that's very
it's
true.
kind
of
basic stuff of like showing up and doing what you said you were going to do.
Yeah, right. But also having the skill set to back it up, which you guys do.
You do need the skills.
And you guys do. But a lot of people can, again, same thing, like, oh yeah, we can do all this, but there's no metrics, there's nothing behind it. It's like sort of so I've told many people, and we've offered up a lot of people to you, and I've pushed a lot of people towards you, or at least suggested it, because the honesty and the integrity that Ramblin has is just bar none, and probably the thing that makes me really happy to be working with you. And it really is, it's a treat, and I really feel honored to be able to work with you, which is, it's an interesting role, but like it's a
Well,
nice thing.
you.
I really enjoy
that.
the relationship, and I enjoy when it's nice to be able to spend a day with you. I do, we spent a couple different times, when we got to skiing a couple years ago, which was a lot of fun. Did the videos, so it's enjoyable. So and those are the things that I also think I love about my job now, is I get to meet really cool people that are really great in their field, and get to like appreciate that as well, and utilize it to help build my company up as well.
Well, Tory, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure working with you.
Yeah.
So for folks watching or listening who want to network with you, how can they learn more?
Yeah, so if you're looking to work with me, either business or, we do a little bit I do help people like on the consulting side of Element, like just offering advice, a lot about snow specifically. Reach out, I think LinkedIn is a good way on the business side of things, but also through my website, contact form, or even just emailing your friends at Betterview Landscaping, and it'll get to me, and kind of go through, hey, I saw your video of Ramblin' or whatever, I have questions, even if it's like, hey, I have questions about you working with Jack. I'm always happy to like answer an email.
Well, thank you. I'll put all that in the show
Please
notes.
do.
And I'll also put a link to the podcast that we've mentioned
the
about
80/20. Yep.
the 80/20
Yep.
principle that you've applied to residential snow.
Yeah,
Because that was an awesome interview.
If you're doing residential snow, and you're in a what I call more of a transitional sort of wonky donkey market where the snow's not always there, I guess.
Right.
I'm happy to always share what we've been doing, because it has really helped support the business.
So here's another, and this is one of my favorite things about the landscape industry in general. I was like, hey, can I ask you about your pricing model? And you thought through it, and you're like, yes, actually, because if my competitors all had this unlimited snow removal model,
it'd be great.
It would level up the whole market
Yep.
in some ways. So I just appreciate that mindset and the generosity.
Rising tide raises all ships.
For sure.
It's so true, and I think I want other businesses, even in my market, to survive. I hate seeing, at the end of a bad snow season that, so-and-so company is not doing snow or went out of business because they just didn't have a model that helped support their snow business. And that makes me sad, because I think about it like people are really proud of their businesses, as I am with mine, and they have employees and all those things, and I don't want to see that happen.
Sure.
So anyway, yeah.
Well, Tory, thank you.
Another one about snow.
We'll do. We will. And, well, you got to come skiing, and there's this ski event.
I heard there's a ski event in January.
Yeah. So you gotta come to that.
They are fun. So if you're thinking about it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tory. Hey, it's Jack Jostes, and you've been watching the Landscaper's Guide podcast. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. And next, click this button, and I'll see you in the next video. Do I have spinach in my teeth?
Not that I could tell from here.
Oh,
No.
Tory. No.
Tons of spinach.
Okay.
I
All
don't
right.
remember eating spinach.
We are photoshopping that in
Oh, all right.
for you. Okay.